Next, let's look at how your personal values may make some choices better for you than others. Values are about what you think is important. Let's ask Regina how she thought through her choices.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, my husband and I had to discuss issues about becoming parents. Because we were newlyweds, this was something new to us to discuss. We had long discussions about whether it was important to us to have our own biological children or what parenting meant to us.
Those are common questions that women and their partners struggle with. Questions about the importance of being pregnant themselves and their views on adoption. Other things that people need to consider are their views on having another person involved in building their family, such as an egg donor or a surrogate carrying the child. Some people also consider their views about creating embryos that they may or may not ever use. Sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly how you feel about these tough issues. In the end, these are things that you are the expert on. Only you know your values. Whatever your values, it's your right to be able to take action on them to the best of your ability. Take a minute and pause the video here and jot down some ideas that might have come to your mind as we've talked about values. You're about to make some huge decisions that will impact you later in your life. You may want to make these decisions privately, but let's talk a minute about the part others could play as you go through the process. Sometimes we go to people because we think they might know how to fix something or could suggest a solution. Other times we may just need to talk it through, and finding someone to listen might help us figure it out for ourselves.
Naturally, I wanted to discuss it with my husband. I considered discussing things with other friends or family, but for me, my main sounding board was my husband.
Sometimes women prefer to confide in somebody who's gone through a similar experience, and some people would rather not talk with anyone at all. One important thing to consider before talking to someone is to be sure they'll support you and not pressure you to make a decision you're not comfortable with. It helps to think about how to phrase your questions so that you get what you want and need instead of unwanted advice or opinions. For example, if you don't want advice, you just want someone to listen, it's a good idea to say that up front. Maybe like this: I'm facing some tough decisions right now, and I just need you to listen. It would help me most if I could just talk. I'm not sure I'm ready for any advice or an outside opinion yet. On the other hand, if you do want advice, then ask for it. You can say something like, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm trying to make an important decision, and I'm wondering what you would do if you were going through something like this. Remember, even people who know us well have a tough time reading our minds. Stating what you need right up front makes it easier for others to give us just what we need. Being certain that a particular choice will give you the result you want is important in making a decision that feels right to you. In medical treatment, certainty is often based on experience with groups of former patients. Do you find it a bit strange when we say that the pregnancy rate is 20%? Because no one is ever 20% pregnant, right? This is the challenge with statistics. They don't necessarily predict what will happen to you. Still, statistics provide ways for us to talk about the chance that you could have a baby in the future by using any of the choices Dr. Mercereau described. Unfortunately, in the field of fertility preservation, the exact chances for you to get pregnant are hard to predict. The other meaning of certainty, though, is how certain you are that any specific choice is the right one for you. Sometimes that kind of certainty comes in the form of a gut feeling rather than reading a statistic. Now we've come to the end of the video. We hope these tips can help as you think about your options, as you explore your own personal values, as you ask for and get the support and advice you need to make your choice, and as you make the best use of the time you have to make a decision that feels right for you.